Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Whittle here with Steve Green and Scott Ott, and this is your almost live coverage of the launch of the SpaceX Falcon Heavy. We say almost live because we don't have the technical skill to actually broadcast all through Windows and Facebook streaming live at this time.
Don't you dare me.
But the reason we wanted to do a show about it was we don't often have these kind of things happening as we're in the middle of recording other shows. So since the three of us are here, we thought we'd give you our reactions to the launch of the Falcon Heavy in real time. And furthermore, it was my topic this week for my right angle segment, which we haven't shot yet, since there's as we come into this, about 10 minutes to go. So this will save me the embarrassment of making a prediction that didn't come true.
And Bill, can I offer
I recorded both. I recorded both outcomes with a great deal of intensity and passion, just when it looked like that. So go ahead, Scotty.
I was just going to say, can I offer an opportunity for us to be able to later synchronize the video of this launch? Because right now we are at T-minus 20 seconds at the clap. There you go.
10 minutes,
10 minutes, 20 seconds.
What did I say?
You said 20 seconds. Yeah, it's 10 minutes, 20 seconds at 9 now. And you look at this thing, and that's not NASA. That's not the Soviet government. This is a guy
You're damn right, buddy.
Who made some billions off of, what was it, eBay?
PayPal, wasn't it?
PayPal, that's what it was. Who made his billions off the internet and has ever since. I know he takes a lot of heat for taking tax subsidies and all the rest, but the fact is that Elon Musk still puts up his own money. For a while there, after he sold PayPal, he was dirt broke. He was living in friends' apartments.
So he's putting up his own car too.
Yeah, literally putting his own car to work. This is exciting stuff.
No, that's exactly right. We were looking at it just before we came in on this. They showed an aerial view of the landing pads at Cape Kennedy, and they had the big SpaceX logo on there. And I thought, yeah, that's who's going. It's not NASA. The reason I wanted to talk about the Falcon Heavy launch, we just a second ago saw the car actually as it's mounted for takeoff. By the way, in one of the driver's wearing one of the new SpaceX spacesuits that they've got for their flights that are coming up. And apparently, I don't know if that's what we're seeing now, but apparently also they're going to be playing Space Oddity on the radio on the car. But to launch a red Tesla Roadster into very high orbit around Mars is showmanship of the highest order. And that's what I wanted to talk about in my right angle today, is that this is how you achieve the things you do. It's not just actually that it's good publicity for the launch. It's just that the kind of mind that can come up with something like this is the kind of mind that can envision going to Mars on his, basically on his own dime. Yeah, what are we going to use? Well, we'll put 12,000 pounds of lead in there, so we need to have some kind of.
No, I'm setting
lead.
my car.
What can we send? You can see if they sync up to the same feed here, you can see the red Tesla there. By the way, I don't know if anybody's realized this, but there's going to be, assuming this flight lasts for more than
5 seconds,
8 seconds, that car is going to be.
Right?
But if the flight lasts longer, there's nobody on board, so we can joke about this. But if the flight lasts for longer than 8 or 9 seconds, that's going to be the fastest car in the history of the world. And it may not even take that long, actually. As a matter of fact, it's probably a question of 2 or 3 seconds when that thing is going to be faster than the fastest car that's ever gone.
Gone. Yeah, Dave Barry joked years ago that the fastest land animal was not, in fact, the cheetah, but a cow dropped from a helicopter. And that's the same kind of effect we're going to get here with the Tesla Model S.
My little airplane, the little one I started with, the Sky Arrow, is so slow. And somebody said, will that airplane do 150 miles an hour? And I said, that airplane wouldn't do 150 miles an hour if you cut it up into little pieces and dropped it out of another airplane. But yeah, so it's looking good. There's cheers. I have to tell you, I was quite sure they'd scrub it.
Me too.
And I'm looking at the viewers gallery here, and it's like, I have certainly spent more than my fair amount of time bashing millennials, but I see nothing but millennials in there. Yeah. I see these. We talked about this on a previous SpaceX episode. I'm used to seeing guys in the clip-on ties and the white short sleeve shirts and the pocket protectors and stuff. But these guys are engineers, and they're world-class engineers. And like Steve said, this isn't China or Russia that's doing this, and it's not China or Russia that figured out how to bring one of these things back and land it either. That's a group of private individuals led by a private guy, and whether it's this launch succeeds or fails, this booster will eventually become America's go-to rocket, and it's awesome.
You know,
Bill,
one of my,
doesn't the
let
history
me
of
say this real quick.
rocketry... I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, one of my dearest friends, Ed Lambert, is an actual rocket scientist. He worked for United Launch Alliance for years, and before that Lockheed, and before that Marietta. And his job was to put satellites in orbit, and he was very, very good at his job. Just retired last year, and he has some real issues with SpaceX. But I got to tell you, as much as I love you, Ed, right now I'm cheering for this rocket. I hope it works.
I was just going to say, doesn't the history of rocketry really kind of, it harkens back to like Goddard, out there just kind of making his own rockets and launching them out in a field somewhere. This idea that a boy can grow up and launch something into space, I wonder if it's as captivating to this generation. I'm looking at the live stream right now, which is just shy of 70,000 live viewers on there, and I'm thinking, 70,000? Should it be like 1.7 million or something?
Yeah,
billions.
And and this is such an American story too. You go to other countries, and the billionaires got that way, through total cronyism. American billionaires, by and large, got rich by building things, by providing services, and these are the guys now with not just the money, because it's not pilfered, it's earned, with the money and the vision to do this kind of thing. And it's not just Musk, it's Bezos, and who's the other one doing this stuff now?
Richard Branson's got Virgin
Galactic
Branson going on.
Yeah.
And the I forget the guy who's got the hotels. It's on the tip of my tongue. In any event, it'll come to me. What's interesting about this is what we've been talking about with this entrepreneurialism into space is this is not like the beginning of the space age, just like the beginning of the age of aviation. And it's kind of ironic and yet at the same time understandable and at the same time really crystal clear that back in the 30s and 40s, it was individuals making aviation happen. There wasn't a Federal Aviation Administration that was designing airplanes. Airplanes were being designed by guys whose names were Hughes and Northrop. And what's especially interesting to me is that some of the people that, as individuals, made their company work, the Lockheed brothers and Boeing, have now evolved into companies that are absolutely so enormous that the idea of either Lockheed or Boeing, both of which are big into space today, the idea that either one of these behemoths would ever have the insane audacity to launch a car or something cool like that, you'd never get that past committee, ever. It would never, ever get past the Lockheed or Boeing board. And so this is why SpaceX is going and why Lockheed and Boeing aren't.
We're looking at T-minus 3 minutes, 10 seconds right now, according to the stream I'm looking at.
Give us a time hack, Scotty, at 3 minutes.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Right on the money.
My video feed's about 3 seconds ahead of Scott's.
Oh man, you're going to see the future before I do.
I am. Well, it's because of the time zone.
It looks to me like the vehicle has. Now that may be part of the gantry. It looks almost like the landing legs are deployed, but that might be part of the.
That's the
structure.
That's the gantry behind it. I think. Yeah.
The things that look like triangular legs. That's not part of the landing gear because the landing gear's up and it just comes down.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just holding it in place.
So we get to see, assuming this thing gets to first stage separation, and Miko on the first stage, at the very least we get to see a takeoff and we get to see a landing.
Yeah, right? I want to see something land on that floating platform out in the middle of the ocean. I never get tired of seeing that.
Are they bringing the booster back?
I believe so. Elon Musk posted the flight plan on Twitter this morning, and I didn't get a chance to actually study it. But if I looked at it correctly, not all 3 sections are coming down.
All 3 are
land.
and landing?
Yeah.
I was going to ask if they were going to do it that way. That will be absolutely magnificent if it happens. And if it doesn't, it's still magnificent.
It's not that this is the biggest rocket ever to fly or can carry the largest payload. Saturn V could actually carry a larger payload than this one.
But it's close.
However, as far as dollars per pound of payload lift, this is where the difference is going to be made in space travel. The ability to inexpensively, relatively speaking, carry payloads into space is what's going to make it possible for us to do something like a Mars mission.
Yeah. And I'm really excited by Branson's the one doing the space plane, right, instead of the rocket.
I have. This is one of the signal honors of my life to be friends with Burt Rutan, and
yeah.
I honestly cannot remember. I think it was 2004 when the Spaceship One launches happened. It was no later than 7. I just slipped my mind.
1 minute.
But it's been 10, 12, 15 years, and the reason that we're watching the Falcon Heavy launch today is because of Elon Musk's attitude, and it's summed up in, well, failure is an option here, because if we're not failing, we're not innovating enough, and that is exactly precisely why we're looking at his rocket out there and not somebody else's.
I said during our backstage, I think that Elon Musk said that he thought there was about a 2/3 chance of success on this, but that he's been unreasonably optimistic, and really there should only be a 50-50 chance. We're at 30 seconds.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, this is the thing, there's some people out there, simple-minded people, see a rocket blow up and go, see, it's just failed, and what's the point? If the rocket explodes, then they'll learn why the rocket explodes, and the next rocket won't explode the same way. It might explode a different way, but it won't explode the same way, and that's how we learn. Here we go.
All data. 10 seconds.
Steve, you're ahead of us.
I hate that.
I got.
I'm sorry, but there it is. The plumes.
Okay, the main
goodness.
engine's starting.
Here we go. Here we go. 0.
This is awesome.
It's
Come
going.
on, baby, go!
Get up there.
Go. Come on.
It's off the pad. It's off the pad.
Straight and true.
Oh, look at that baby
my God,
go!
it's beautiful.
Systems nominal.
You genius! You mad genius! The car is now doing 300 kilometers per hour. Come on, what's the record? It's got to be around 1,000, I would think, maybe a little higher. Look at it go. It's huge, isn't it?
Isn't
It's
that
a
beautiful?
big, big girl.
Oh my God.
So we're at 500 miles an hour. 500 kilometers per hour.
But yeah.
Sorry. I'm so far away
Those
from my
are
screen.
puny
I can
little
barely see it.
measurements. Hang in there,
The
sweetheart.
Cheering is
It's just, I have the sound down, but it's,
I turned my sound
you're
down
going to get
too.
a
I'm
big
glad somebody
cheer.
has it up.
You're going to get a big cheer when the boosters come off.
Wow, look at that shot.
Wow.
Holy
Oh
cow.
SpaceX, look at that thing. Looks like the Enterprise somehow,
It does.
Yeah.
A part of it is because the video quality is so clear compared to what we're used to seeing.
we
plus
never got
those-
to see
that
this as
3
kids.
column
Yeah.
structure.
Okay, is this
too.
is this
It's
booster
such a
separation
cool
coming up here?
Oh.
No, Max Q.
It looks
It's
like
Max Q.
plasma rays coming out
Come
of the
on,
back of those
Firefly.
3 engines firing all at once.
All right, here's Max Q
Oh,
right
now
now.
you're getting GoPro shots from the side of the rocket itself. We're going to see first stage separation here.
So on some level now, the rocket is actually getting safer because Max Q means maximum aerodynamic pressure. The rocket's going faster and faster, but the air's getting thinner and thinner, and Max
yeah.
Q is the point where the actual aerodynamic loads on the vehicle are the highest.
We're at 1 minute 37 seconds downrange.
To
And
slip
she's
the
still
surly
going,
bonds
baby.
of Earth.
Go, 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 go.
Touch the face of God.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Or Satan, depending on which religious view you hold here in America in 2018. Boy, that's the fastest car in the history of the world, that Tesla Roadster, by far.
Right now.
I have no doubt
Yeah.
of it. It's fun to watch the plume
4,000
start to
kilometers
darken
per
up.
hour.
Please, go.
Because,
Come
yeah,
on.
what's the next time mark? Is that the booster separation? It's got to be. Can you read
it? I'm not seeing a time mark for that. I'm seeing T plus, and it's T plus 220.
Yeah.
Are you not getting the little timeline?
Oh, yeah, there is a little timeline, but it's too
there
far
is,
away
isn't
for me
there?
to see that. It's coming up on one note in a couple of seconds
It's
here.
coming up
I
on
need my
one. It
reading
is
glasses,
high.
and I don't have them handy.
Look at the ocean down below it. You can see in the rear.
Yeah.
Separation.
Okay, here we
Separation.
go. Look
There's
at
gotta be
that.
separation.
Falling
There they
away.
And they're off clean. And they're off clean. There's big cheering in mission control.
Look at that.
Scott, you're our ears. What's mission
Hold on
control
now,
sound like?
Cheering,
What's
just,
the main
just
booster doing?
unbelievable cheering.
It seemed to me like the
It's
booster
like
was...
it's
No,
like a
it's stable.
concert. It's the mosh pit at a concert and just screaming. Successful separation. The guy from Mission Control. This is
And she's still going, man. She's still going.
Wait, what am I looking at?
beautiful.
Oh, there goes, was that Miko?
Main stage
Yep.
cut
So
off?
now we're second stage.
Yep.
Second stage is burning.
Yep.
Now you're going light, 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 light. It's on. See the first stage booster falling away behind the bell of the.
Oh, look how that
rocket
heats
engine?
up, man! That becomes glowing orange.
Wow.
I saw a little piece of something it looked like a serpentine
It's a
belt
ring.
from my car.
It's a ring, and that
This
comes
is-
off on purpose.
This is going to sound really weird, but this is the most beautiful launch I've seen since
It is without
Howard's
question.
Apollo 13, and that was all special effects. This is the real deal, and it's Hollywood quality
We're
stuff.
getting to another.
So
mark.
is
Oh, we
that
just
is
passed
that
it.
drone
was being
determined?
cut off.
Is that drone determined to get the second stage as well?
Wait, hang
It
on.
is, isn't it? The you can see the drone ship out in the Atlantic there. The second stage is so far downrange they can't bring it back to Kennedy.
Oh, so
you
now
can
we're
s-
seeing the view from the land.
Hey,
Oh, that's
the
that's
car.
the Tesla.
the
Yeah.
fairing is off. You genius! You genius! You're
Don't
a-
panic!
Don't
The
panic.
dashboard screen says don't panic.
From Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, right?
Yes. Oh, I have actual tears now. Oh my gosh.
Okay, back to the mosh pit. They're just going nuts down there.
Yeah, you bet. And look at the cohort. Everybody there about the same exact age.
I hope nobody wore a girly anime shirt that's going to ruin this thing for me.
Thanks,
Oh, well,
millennials.
I don't think anybody
Thank
much
you.
cares. No, seriously, I tip my hat to you guys. So here come some of the steering paddles coming off. They looks like each one of these is coming off of both boosters, but they're so close to identical. I find that hard to believe.
Wow.
That looks like one video being split over two screens. It's conceivably possible, but I can't be.
Yeah,
These
I'm
can't
not.
be
I'm
two
not sure
separate
what we're
pieces.
looking at here with those.
Geezer Man
So those
Geek
paddles-
just realized I could blow up the screen so I could see better.
So the paddles are used to help steer on the way down. So we're seeing the first stage and also the side boosters coming.
Oh,
coming down.
okay.
Yeah.
So the three panels that aren't the main ship, those are the boosters coming down.
Right.
Okay.
So they're going to try and recover all three. Something
The
happened to
car. Oh, the feed disappeared for a
Yeah,
second
they've
on
had-
the.
Oh,
they've had some
you get to
difficulty
see it
keeping the
before
main
us by
feed
about
going.
a second.
Oh,
I'm
it
pretty
is.
sure
It
the
is
term
orange
is.
hot.
I'm pretty sure the term is regenerative cooling. I'm not sure about that, but basically, that bell of the engine, the rocket engine, is cooled by fuel. They pump the fuel around the outside of the rocket bell prior to
Really?
putting it into the ignition chamber because that fuel is very cold and it helps keep the metal from melting.
Oh,
It's
that
still
video feed
rapidly
keeps-
accelerating up to 14,800 kilometers per hour now. 160 miles, 160 kilometers in altitude.
Every time
You
that
don't wanna
video
get-
feed cuts out
Yeah,
from
I
the
know.
main capsule, my
Don't-
heart stops, and it keeps happening.
Don't get cocky. Don't get cocky, kid. But to be honest with you, if the rocket has been functioning this long, the chances are extremely good that it's going to continue its burn. Okay, so I see the main booster coming down, and it looks like I think we're seeing one video for both of those. No, maybe not.
On the bottom, it looks the same. Yeah. I'll
Yeah,
tell you
it
what.
Maybe
does.
not.
The best part
They're
so
flying
far.
to the same place, so maybe not. Maybe those are in fact separate images.
The best part
They
so
are
far
separate
is
images.
is the pop-up commercial encouraging you to both like and subscribe to this channel.
Hey, we got the boosters are burning on the. They got an engine ignition on the side boosters on the SRBs.
They're
Like
gonna
and
down.
subscribe to
LRBs, I guess.
BillLittle.com. How about that?
Yeah, that's right. We should have a little thing pop up. Tap the subscribe button here.
You can see the coastline there, right? That's got to be the water between
Look at
Kennedy and the
Yeah,
Atlantic.
yeah. We're
So
at
they've
T
lit-
plus 7.
They've relit the engines.
See, this
to
is
make
something
sure
you
they've
never got with
something on.
NASA. You never got to see them going up and coming down at the same time.
Never. Except for the last time that they launched in wind shear
Well,
conditions, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's not talk about that.
Look at
All right,
that.
you can see footage of the booster coming down now. There's
Yep.
the main booster in
Oh,
the
so
upper
they cut to a
right-hand
different
corner.
angle. Yeah. See, there's the
Get
subscribe.
that thing out of there, dude! Come on!
Like us and subscribe. Thank you.
Yeah, I know they've got this stupid ad in the way. They're
I'm
okay.
gonna
it's gone.
unsubscribe if you don't
I
get
hope
that
they don't
junk
get
in there.
demonetized
Here it comes.
for
Look
having
at that
such a
thing coming
baldly
down. It's
American
coming
vision.
down like a missile. It's like somebody dropped a whale out of space. And look at that thing coming down. It's all
Wow.
black from the booster separation. Looks like the upper left-hand screen is pretty obscured by. Oh my God! It looks like it's just going to come in and
Look
hit.
how clear that picture is. Oh,
Go, baby, go, 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 go,
sweet
go, go, go.
meteor. Come on, stand
Here we
up.
go. Here we go. Here we
You
go.
can see from the boosters. You can see from
Look
the
at that.
boosters the main.
Look at the target, the landing pad. Two of them landing
Oh my-
simultaneously.
Oh my God!
I never. It was
Now, where's the third?
ballet
Where's the third?
with
Where's the big
landing
one?
rockets. It was the frickin' Bolshoi.
Where's the first stage? What happened to the first stage?
Two of them landed simultaneously, one behind
What
the other.
happened to the first stage? I got a bad feeling about the first stage.
Yeah,
see.
they're not showing it. Stage 2, they're showing the telemetry, but
There we go. Here we go. Here's the barge.
Uh-oh. I don't
It might have
know.
been a switching error. They're having some problems with their feet. Obviously, it looks like smoke on the booster pad.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just having a
The
problem
landing
with
is
their
happening, but
video.
we've lost the signal.
Okay, I got to turn my volume back up. Okay, this is the nerdiest, most wonderful thing I think we've done in 8 or 9 years of this.
Yeah.
And I don't
So
know
they
if
got-
anybody's going to watch it, but just
They got
the
the liquid
chance to do
boosters
this
back.
with you two
Yeah, it's really
gentlemen
great.
is amazing.
The
So-
announcers in the booth here are trying to figure out whether they've successfully landed on that barge.
Yeah.
And what happened to the first stage? Because we saw the liquid boosters come down in tandem, which was spectacular.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But what about the capsule?
You mean I'm talking about the main booster?
Oh, okay.
We saw great video of it coming down. It was the detail on it was unbelievable. Remember that blackened thing just coming down?
Yeah.
But we have not found. I get the feeling we would have seen explosion footage or something by now, but you never know.
They said the main part of the rocket is continuing its trajectory toward Mars.
Well, that's the successful launch, regardless of whether we recover the boosters or not.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, now,
But
So
now
we know that-
if they nail the quadfecta here of a Mars launch and landing 3 boosters, this is
It's already a spectacular success, obviously.
no words. There's the capsule. It's not orange
So-
anymore.
We have second stage cutoff, obviously, and that
Yeah.
means it's in an elliptical orbit. They're going to have to circularize that orbit at some point coming up. But I'd like to stay on the air until we find out what happened to the main booster and the second stage, both of which look like they were going to be
far,
recovered.
the guy in the booth is saying everything that you could want has happened the way it's supposed to.
Oh, this is the most exciting 11 minutes of my life since I took my wedding vows, I think.
They lost camera connection to the barge, and they're at first attributed that to possible the shaking that was going on there. But I know that they've got multiple camera angles on these things.
All
So they're
right,
saying they've got them all.
And I
They're
tell
all
you-
back home.
they got them all?
Well,
They said everything that could possibly go right has gone right. That means booster recovery, first stage, second stage recovery, plus 2 liquid boosters.
yeah, they didn't clarify exactly what he meant by that, but it sounded like everything went well.
So
Another cheer
Now
It's
they're
coming up
plugging
for
their
the...
website.
this, I don't know this, but
I love private
Falcon,
enterprise.
Falcon Heavy, I think, is basically 3 Falcon 9s basically tied together,
Yeah,
right? I mean,
yeah.
Okay, there goes the fairing separation on the roadster. Oh man, you genius!
It's a madman.
So is that outside of the capsule?
Yes, dude, you're looking at the Earth. There's the guy in the SpaceX spacesuit. Don't panic from. This is exactly why he's successful, because he understands the story. Understands the story on
This is the
some
coolest
level.
shot from space since Sandra
Without
Bullock was
ever.
up there with George Clooney.
Well, but yeah.
Wait, hang on. What song is that playing?
It's Bowie. I don't know Bowie well enough to know which one. I'm assuming Space Oddity. Wow.
Oh shoot! It cut out before I could.
Yeah, now they're cutting off the feed.
They said it would be Space Oddity. Are they cutting the feed completely?
Yeah, I didn't recognize the song, but if it wasn't, it was not the song Space Oddity, but it might have been
Oh,
off
my
the
goodness.
album. What?
Well, that was a lot of fun.
Well, needless to say, I'm looking forward to the footage of the footage I really wanted to see. Well, the footage I wanted to see, I just saw. Right, there's a car in orbit. To be correct, there's a car in an elliptical orbit that will be in orbit if they circularize it, but they'll circularize it.
And Bill, didn't that spacesuit look like the spacesuit that you thought you were going to get when you were a kid?
That's
Yeah, it
right.
looks
Not
like
the
a Star
huge,
Citizen
bulky
spacesuit.
NASA thing, but the clean, spandex jackets for everyone spacesuit.
Spandex jackets for everyone.
Yeah.
And by the way, just that's an interesting subject very quickly too. The traditional spacesuit has up until SpaceX really for 60 years now. A spacesuit has essentially been a giant bag of air that you get into, which is why they're so enormously big and why it's so hard for them to move because you're trying to flex this thing against the pressure of the air inside it. But you can also keep the skin from expanding and all this stuff by pressure. If you basically put somebody in a very strong thermally protected wetsuit kind of thing,
Yep.
you can also do that. Now you got to be in better physical shape. You got to look pretty buff to wear one of those things. But in any event, it's
I always
yeah, there-
assumed that was jammed with pink fiberglass insulation of an R value of 19 or more.
that one shot that the three of us noticed when it's probably about a minute into launch when the vehicle, because of the camera angle, looks almost horizontal.
Yes.
And it's just so white and so symmetrical and so perfect.
Yeah, but
Mal Reynolds salutes you.
yes, they can't take the sky from me.
That's right. Well, that was an afternoon's entertainment, was it not?
It was.
I
And
hope
you know
that-
what?
Most joyous thing we've done since I don't know when.
And I would just say this, and I mean, obviously these are from the heart, from the moment. This is, if America continues to survive as a country, it's because of this. It's because a bunch of individuals, young people in T-shirts, and a guy with real vision were able to do something that Russia has never been able to do, China's never been able to do, the European Union's never been able to do, and the United States of America as a country, as a government, has never been able to do either. That was the most remarkable thing. The images of those two boosters coming down simultaneously, hitting the pad within a quarter second of each
it's
other.
just like
was
that, yeah.
Spectacular.
It was
And I
was
thought
ballet.
I thought we were seeing cloned video feed because the camera pictures were identical.
Yeah.
But then at the very, very end, I realized, well, they're identical because they're going to be coming back to a spot about 100 yards from each other or something.
Might I add that a first-generation immigrant did this, coming to America, where you
Absolutely
can actually
right.
do a thing like this. And by the way, for a moment, they just flashed on the screen. We got a behind-the-scenes peek at the software they're using. They're using open broadcast software. It's software that I looked at and rejected and wound up coughing up $600 for Wirestream because OBS was too complicated for me to operate. But apparently SpaceX can handle it, and it's open source software. I love that.
They're replaying the countdown now from 3 minutes. I don't guess we want to wait and watch the whole thing again, but my God, that
I'm
was
going to watch it
something.
again, but not now.
Yeah,
Yeah, but not now.
incredible.
Yeah, we'll get this together. It'll be a couple hours after the actual launch. But if you got to see it live, then you got to see it live like we did. And if you didn't get to see it live, we hope that at least to some degree our excitement is, is communicated to you. It's we have so many discussions, so many weeks we come on and talk about what's wrong with the country and the trouble we're in, and the failures and the backsliding and the lowering of standards and all the rest. But what we saw today was not only brilliant from an engineering point of view, it was brilliant from an America point of view. We're going to put a red convertible sports car into space, playing David Bowie with a sign that says "Don't Panic" on the dashboard. It's that's the word. It's the playfulness of it. It's the playfulness. That's why this works, and this is why it's SpaceX and not Lockheed, because of the playfulness of it.
When I mentioned to my father-in-law what they were doing, he said, red car to the red planet. I like it.
Yeah, imagine. If I remember correctly, that's Elon Musk's personal Model
Yes.
S Roadster that is currently orbiting the Earth and soon to be on its way to Mars. And
Yeah,
can you?
I hope he picks it up.
I think
hope
when
he
they
goes
turn-
and reclaims it. I hope he's got his valet ticket so that he can go and get that
right.
thing from Mars orbit, bring it back, and drive it around.
But I want you
think
to
when he-
think about this, Bill. If this thing is a success, then in a very real way, a private individual, an American citizen, is going to own a very small piece of the orbit around Mars. What a remarkable thing that is.
I think when he handed over the keys to the Tesla to the people at SpaceX, he said, "Crunch all you want, we'll make more."
A pretty good indication of the structural integrity of the of the Tesla Roadster too, because I don't know what the G load on launch was, but it must have been pretty close to 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Now, you'll probably never
tell you-
subject your Tesla to these kind of G forces, but you
Closed
just a
course,
quick- just a quick
professional
wrap-up.
rocket launch.
Just a quick wrap up, guys. What were your favorite moments? Just real quick, and then we'll call it a day.
The dual booster landings side by side, right next to each other. I'm sure there was several hundred yards apart, but to me it looked like they were, 10 feet apart. And just to me, the spectacle of landing a pencil on its eraser from
Just that alone.
100 miles up in space, precisely like that, will never cease to cause me to marvel.
What about you, Steve?
Scott picked the best moment, so I'll just go with the gut reaction to it. Whatever one of my tax dollars that I didn't get to choose that went to one of Elon Musk's ventures, you know what? Completely worth it, because that man made me feel like a kid again.
Yeah, and by the way, for those people who have such a big problem with government subsidies, he's essentially getting paid in advance for work that he's doing. This would be a more compelling case if America had its own rocket booster as a country, but we don't.
Yeah.
So we have to buy that from somewhere. There's the launch again.
Yeah.
I agree.
It was a bargain.
Yeah, the booster recovery was tremendous. The horizontal shot of the rocket going up, which we'll see again in 1 second. But I have to tell you, my favorite moment was "Don't Panic."
Yes.
Because
it took me by surprise.
To me, that was so audaciously playful, just like the whole idea of putting it in there, and what do I say? We're not worthy to be on the same planet with Elon. We're going to let this roll one more time because the sync is going, and there's the shot. There's the shot. My God, it looks like the Enterprise. It just looks
It
bloody
does.
massive and clean. Oh boy.
Ugh.
Well, I guess that episode where I say the whole thing's going to blow up on the pad, and I told him
Scratch
so, and the
that
whole
one.
thing's a futile.
Yep.
I'll put that one in the can, and we'll go with the one where it's an amazing success. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the SpaceX launch from the afternoon of February 6th. We never did get to see the boosters on the second and first main stage recovery, but they say they're there. So if we get that footage, we'll cut it into the right angle. Otherwise, we won't.
To every little boy who's ever pressed the button on an Estes model rocket, keep looking for the skies. Keep going.
And to every little girl as well.
No, just the boys. Just
the boys. That was.
You don't get to see history very often, Bill.
No.
That was it.
It was glorious, especially good history. I get to see enough bad history.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for us, your right angle team, and it's a great day for America. It's a great day for humanity, and it's a great day for playfulness. And I think of all things, it's a great day for the whole idea of private enterprise, where you get to do things like play David Bowie and put a "Don't Panic" from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy sticker on the front of your red sports car convertible that you've launched into space and is heading for Mars. What a country this is. There's still some life in the old girl yet, ladies and gentlemen, and we mean to make sure there's as much as possible. We'll see you later. Thanks again for joining us here on Right Angle.